You're listening to the Elevated Life Real Wellness and Transformation podcast, where we cut through the noise and get real about fitness, nutrition, mindset, and spiritual growth. We are glad you're here. Join us and elevate beyond the ordinary.
We're recording this the second week in January, something like that. So we thought it would be a good opportunity for those of you who are well on your transformation journey, or maybe those of you who are just starting, to remind you of 8 lies that the fitness industry tells you.
No, it's not. Say it ain't so.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah.
They don't always have your best interest in mind.
What? It's like a $1 trillion business. Not trillion. I mean, but it's big business, right?
Yeah.
So naturally they want people to continue to come back, right?
Yeah. So do you want to just jump right into them?
Yeah.
We have them right here. So
Do the jumping, sir.
We'll just go one at a time and let you know something that you might have seen or heard, or just, a couple of these are like, I've just known that forever for whatever reason. And it turns out, I don't know why I knew that because it wasn't quite true.
Right.
All right. So number 1, you have to suffer to get results.
Yeah. So what does that suffering look like? Let's talk about that.
Really, I think the easiest way, what many people have probably heard, is no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
Right. And that can be either, lifting or cardio, or no pain in the food.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're trashing yourself, then you're not doing anything, right? That's
Right.
the same, like, no pain, no gain. Now, what I will say, I was having this conversation with my book club ladies earlier today. Ada and I were talking about how we were sore from class and how, we really like to feel sore. But soreness is not a measure of progress. It just isn't. But naturally, why is it that humans, unless we're like in pain and just, I must not be doing anything, right? It's that same notion of, 10 bodyweight squats, that isn't going to do anything for me. But the science says quite the opposite. I mean, we've had that conversation a million times.
Yeah. One of the main, if we get a little science-y, I guess, for a second, really one of the main issues, when your body feels pain, then it instantly thinks it feels the stress.
Yeah.
Right? The stress comes on, your central nervous system gets deregulated, up goes the cortisol.
Yeah.
Which means you're not making gains because your body isn't in the mode to make gains or to improve itself. It's like something weird is going on and we need to get the hell out of here.
Well, especially if you're like, I have to suffer every day. Now, it's one thing when you are making time for active recovery, right? Because we know that if you're hitting an intense workout, sometimes they're intense, right? And that's okay. But allowing enough time to recover is really the secret sauce, right? Yeah. It's not, you have to suffer to get results. Sustainable progress comes from consistency. That's like our message, right?
Yeah,
Consistency. The secret sauce that you are looking for with your health and fitness, the quick tip, the whatever, is consistency. Right? That's it. Just keep going. So many people fall off, the second week of January or come February because they have this mindset where it's like, okay, if I'm not in just, laying on the couch after work because I've just trashed myself and gone to work and done all the things, then it didn't work. That's not sustainable.
Yeah, a pretty good rule of thumb, if you're thinking specifically about going to the gym, resistance training, that kind of stuff, you really, again, with the consistency idea, you should typically feel better when you're leaving than when you got there.
Yeah, and it might on the workout, I would say there's some nuances.
But I was going to say, even if it's a super hard workout, it shouldn't be like, I overtaxed my, these joints. I can't flex my knees or something like that. If it's just fatigue, that's not pain.
Right. Yeah, you're right. All right, what's the next one, sir?
Before we do that, we're going to have to pause. We're not going to pause the recording, but I'm going to turn this light on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that helps any. It helps me be able to see this piece of paper.
Yeah.
All right. Little behind the scenes action. And you can see that I actually do wear pants during these. All right. Number 2.
All right. Next, Clint. Moving on.
You can fix number 2 lie the fitness industry tells you. You can fix everything in 30 days.
60 days, 90 days, whatever. The body does not operate on marketing timelines. Everyone is different here, right? Muscle, bone, hormones, and metabolism all change slowly in response to repeated inputs. Okay? Everyone is different. And I still see influencers selling their challenges, right? So let's talk about this a little bit because, burpee challenge. In 30 days, you're going to be able to go from 1 to 30 burpee. Okay, right? You might be able to do that. 1 to whatever, 100 burpees. That's something. Or body weight squat challenge, right? Start with 10, build yourself up to 100. Those are things that I can get behind.
Yeah.
Right? Challenges that I can get behind. However, having someone who hasn't even evaluated your life say you're going to lose X amount of weight in this amount of time is insane. And number 1, but number 2, if that's what they're really delivering, then I'm going to tell you right now, your nutrition is going to be like you get a half a cup of cottage cheese and an apple every day, and you're working out 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen at the end of that 30 days is you are going to be in a metabolic dumpster fire and gain all of it back plus more. So,
not to mention a lot of it, and we'll get into some more specifics around this and some of the other lies, but a lot of it is going to be muscle loss or just water weight loss that,
a lot of it is muscle loss because you're at such a huge calorie deficit. You have no nutrients to build muscle tissue. I mean, and then you're just a smaller, flabbier version of yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Less healthy.
Yes, way less healthy.
So the time frame challenge or things to get behind, like Johnna was saying, if you're going to do something for a certain amount of time, that's the cool thing. Like I'm going to lock in for 30 days and then we'll see. We'll see where I am at the end of that 30 days. Not I'll be fixed, whatever fixed means.
Yeah.
That's just like a arbitrary term.
Yeah, nothing good is fixed in 30 days, at least for the long term.
Yeah.
And we're about long term. So
number 3 lie. This one is one of those that just permeates for whatever reason. You can spot reduce fat. Just not true.
This one just drives me bonkers because I see this all the time. And I mean on the daily, multiple times a day. I have this. What exercise gets rid of this? Oh, I have this. Here's the deal. Your body, your genetics, your hormones, it chooses, and we've said this a million times too, guys. It chooses where you're going to lose weight. I have done core workouts every day for 3+ years consistently, all day long with clients, because I always do my ab workouts with my clients. I do not have a 6-pack. I still have I call it a portal, right? This is my womb. I still have fat there. I do. And maybe if I got really obsessive about macros and all of that, then I could get down to a smaller body fat percentage, but I have no interest in losing my period, right? Because it messes with your hormones, women. When you get to that low body fat percentage, it messes with your hormones and you end up losing your cycle. That's not worth it to me.
And the important thing to keep in mind, even with everything that John is talking about, is it still wouldn't necessarily come from there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you did all those things and screwed up your hormones and screwed everything else up, it still might not come off of your belly until that's the only fat you have.
Right.
You
Now, if that's your goal, I'm not trying to put the kibosh on anyone who's like, well, my goal is to get down to 8% body fat as a woman. Okay, cool. And some people also have the genetics for that. Like, I see and hear people all the time on Instagram that are just like, oh, eat these 4 things and you can have this, body composition. You can't, because it's not your body. It's not your genetics. It's not your hormones. It's not your stress. It's their meat suit, not yours. So everyone's different. So don't buy into that. And I know it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Do these 10 core exercises or the thigh master and you'll have nice legs. It doesn't work like that.
The cool thing, and there's going to be some caveats, and I know John's going to jump in with caveats here in a second, but the cool thing about resistance training is you do have the opportunity to spot work on places in your body, so you can accentuate certain muscles that can change your, just your look, your composition, all those things. It's still, though, it's still determined a lot by genetics.
Yeah.
Some people can do a whole bunch of, the lady across from me, you can work your legs just like crazy and all the things, lift heavy and do this lift. And here's the one that's going to really, build your butt up or whatever it might be. If your body isn't going to do it, your body isn't going to do it.
I've experienced this, people, because I don't have a big ass. I don't. And I work so hard on it. And I don't even want to hear, oh, you got a hip thrust. I hip thrust heavy. Very heavy. And I don't even know the number right now, but it's freaking heavy.
Yeah.
And over time, building. That's just my body. And at some point, I just have to go, you know what? I'm going to be happy with what I have here, right? I mean, and I can still continue to work on that, doing Bulgarian split squats and regular squats and deadlifts and you name it. But I don't have a bubble ass.
Yeah.
I don't naturally. That's just, it's unfortunate for me. But then part of me is like, do I really want one? Because trying to find jeans for a small waisted, big assed, that's difficult.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. Number 4. There is one perfect diet for everyone.
There is not one perfect diet.
Here's the closest thing. And, if you've listened to this more than 3 minutes on any other podcast, you probably know what I'm going to say. Whole foods.
Yeah, that's the non-negotiable.
That's the thing. What those whole foods are varies.
Yeah.
Because some people, certain whole foods that are like, oh, this is so healthy, like it just doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, oxalates, that's a thing, right? Yeah. So this comes from like the carnivore, dogmatic and the vegan and the raw foodist. I hear it from everyone, and it's like church. Right? This is the way. And if you don't eat like this, you suck and blah, blah, blah. The truth is it is your responsibility to find out how your body responds to whole foods. That's it. Some whole foods are not going to work good for you. Some of them are going to be great. It is your body, your choice. Take responsibility for it. Don't listen to some, oh, this is what Glenda from, Fit Body Boot Camp said is the best food for everyone on the planet. It might not be good for you. So listen to your body. Okay, after I eat a steak, how do I feel?
Yeah.
How's my digestion? Am I pooping normal? One of the big things on carnivore is people are like, oh, I love it. I haven't shit for a week, but I'm thinking, okay, we've got putrefied animal products in the colon for a week. What does that smell like? A parasite haven. While other people are like, oh, I don't experience that. I have my energy, my bowels, everything's great, right? You see the same thing with raw foodists, vegans, all of it.
Yeah.
It is your responsibility to figure out what food you are going to eat. End of story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to say about that, but it has to be full or whole, nutrient dense food.
Right.
I mean, that's just a duh at this
That's the
point.
non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Line number 5. This is another one that, yeah, it really is interesting to hear people talk about. Just eat fewer calories than you burn.
Yeah. I hear this all the time, especially on Instagram. Oh my gosh, you want to blame your hormones. You want to blame your stress. You just eat too much. You know, some influencer that's 22 years old, you know, telling 40-year-olds how to eat,
Yeah.
or that they're lazy, or
Yeah.
that, you know, whatever that is. Now, in you know, umbrella, yes, the law of thermodynamics, calories
Right.
in, energy out, all of the things. But in my experience with training a lot of women, there are a ton of women who are overweight, in the obese range, that are grossly under eating. They're in a metabolic nightmare. You know, it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not always true.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you add in stress
Yeah.
to that as well, it's like your body isn't going to burn fat. It's going to burn muscle.
And also sleep. I mean, how many middle-aged women how many people are not sleeping? Like, that's when the body, it's like plugging your phone in. That's when your battery gets charged. So if you're always just on empty, and then you add on top of that just the stress of everyday living, that's just to the metabolism, right? And so, and I know this in my own case, right? I grossly underate calories and didn't lose any weight. In fact, gained weight. So that's for a totally different podcast, but it's not always about that. So there's that.
All right. Line number 6. More is always better.
More workouts, more cardio, more restriction, they always backfire. Excessive training increases injury risk and raises the stress hormone. So we kind of talked about this a little bit with, you know, you have to suffer to get results. But the other part of that is, okay, I'm going to start tomorrow and I'm going to start running for 2 hours every day. Yeah. Or when I come into the gym, I am going to lift super heavy. Or we hear this all the time with new clients. I want to start this week and I want to train 5 days a week. No, like more is not better. Growth in terms of muscle mass happens in recovery. So it is really just, and also you want something that's going to be sustainable throughout your entire life, right? We're talking about transformation here. We're not talking about 30-day challenges. What is going to be sustainable in your life, something that you can manage from this point where you've decided to take your health and fitness into, you know, even thinking about it for the rest of your life.
Right.
It's not going to be 7 days a week pounding hard, beating yourself up, right? It's just, that's not how it's going to work, because you want to continuously go and do things at the gym or whatever that looks like, your home gym. And sometimes life gets in the way. And so you want to lay the foundation of, again, consistency and sustainability. And that is not going to happen just more.
Yeah. Yeah. Overdoing it puts a stress on your body.
Yeah.
And it puts a stress on your mind.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
I mean, we've talked so much about what stress does.
Yeah.
and what you can't do when you have it. So you're just compounding everything.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7. Weight loss equals health.
The scale does not measure muscle, fat, bone, or water. You can lose weight by losing muscle, which weakens the body and slows the metabolism. Muscle is denser than fat, so building muscle may not change the scale, but actually it will. It'll probably make you gain weight, honestly. But your strength, your body composition, all of those things absolutely change. We have been slaves to the scale, especially women. And, it just because you're losing quote unquote weight doesn't mean you're losing the right kind of weight, which would be fat, which is toxic tissue, right?
Yeah, this is certainly one that we really struggle, or I shouldn't say really struggle, but comes up a lot when we're training people. No matter how much we kind of have our spiel of, the scale's probably going to go up a little bit. It's fine. You're building muscle. It's going to be, your long-term, all the things. And then a few weeks into training, people will come in like, I gained 2 pounds.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Freaking out.
Well, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
But the response always is, how do your pants fit?
Yeah.
How does that shirt fit that was a little bit too tight? Do you notice a little bit of difference in that? That's really the key indicators of your body composition changing versus you just losing a number.
Right. Or how's your energy?
Yeah.
How's your libido? How is your sleep? All of these things can improve, but if the scale isn't saying something, that you lost 10 pounds because we've been conditioned that you lose 10 pounds in a week. Like, it's just ridiculous. Go ahead.
No, was I going to interrupt you?
No, go ahead.
Okay, because I was going to tell my story or my current situation. I, always tell everybody exactly what we're talking about right now. That being said, I weigh myself every day because I use a Hume scale. And what that does, and there may be others on the market as well. I know Hume is a fantastic scale. You hold on a little thing with your hands and, you use your bare feet and everything. And it does a body scan and it records all those things, muscle, fat, bone density, water. There's a myriad of different data points that it comes up with. And then so you can track that. So what I really like to do is track how my weight. So I'm not weighing myself to see what that number is, that overall weight number. I'm using that in conjunction with all the other data points to see, where is my weight compared to my body fat percentage, compared to my water right now.
Doesn't it measure your muscle?
Yeah.
Too? Yeah. Like your muscle mass.
It measures your muscle mass in all different parts of your body.
Yeah. I do not weigh myself every day. That is a trigger. And I know where your triggers are. That's where your trauma is. Yep, you got it. I don't. My measurement is how my clothes feel. That is literally what it is. And I now have, I'm down to the, I'm feeling like 2 pounds. I'll weigh myself every few months just for a check-in, and sometimes in some years twice a year. It's just not something that I want to do. And maybe sometime in my life I'll want to weigh myself every day. But I don't.
Johnna doesn't use the Hume.
No, I don't use the Hume. I don't. That's yours.
But I really, if you are a person that wants to weigh yourself, and it doesn't trigger everybody. No. Some people are okay with the number, but it's really another great component. It's not the end all be all of anything, but it's another great component to see, my weight is up a pound or whatever, but my body fat percentage actually went down.
Right.
Or, I've got a whole bunch of extra water that I'm retaining. Well, why? Oh, yeah, because I went on a sugar binge.
Right. Right. A bag of chips.
Yeah.
And there was so much salt, right?
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in a scale in that number, I would highly recommend getting a Hume because it gives you so many other components as well.
Yeah, if that's something that you're going to incorporate, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because you can see all the other numbers, and that's what really
those are the numbers that matter,
yes,
not the overall weight. Okay, and number 8. The number 8 lie that the fitness industry tells you: if it didn't work, you didn't try hard enough.
yeah, yeah. I hear this on the daily as well, and it's well, it's sad, really, because it just perpetuates trauma around fitness.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you feel bad about yourself. And I know a lot of people, myself included, who tried really fucking hard, but just didn't know. Like, I didn't know, right? Because I was taught, being a Gen Xer, that you starve yourself and you walk or run, right? That's what I was taught. And so you don't know what you don't know. It's the system that you're using, person. I'm talking to you right now. If you're like, I've tried everything, oh my gosh, those systems are not working for you.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you hire a good personal trainer. I think we've done a podcast on how to vet a personal trainer, because they're not all the same. And an influencer, guys, is not a personal trainer. Someone on Instagram who's showing you, maybe some of them are.
Sure.
But any good trainer is going to talk like us. They're going to say, okay, we got to think about stress and sleep and lifestyle. And it's not just going to be, oh, you didn't try hard enough and, whatever, do your shoulder shrugs. It's very disheartening for the person that is really trying, but just doesn't have the knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to add to that. I completely agree. Except for the concept of it not working, which, I would push back a little bit, and, maybe it's a reframing of thoughts a little bit, because I think everything works. It might just be working to tell you, oh, this isn't what my body needs.
Right.
So it worked in a way to say, I dedicated myself to the carnivore diet and it didn't work, because of whatever. Well, yeah, it did, because now I know something about my body. I'm not a carnivore diet guy.
Yeah.
Or, enter in or add in anything that you're doing. It's all data.
Yeah.
That you can use. It's all information that you can use to just continue to refine and make better choices, because again, we're a broken record on this. This is forever.
Yeah.
This is your lifetime.
Yeah.
And so anything that you're going to do, as long as you commit to it, not that.
Well, I was going to say that, like, maybe it didn't work because you didn't give it enough time.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, well, I went to the gym for January and February and I wasn't, Kate Moss, if you know who that is, then you're old. Or whoever, insert Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It takes time. Everything takes time. At least a year. Give it a year. That's what I tell people. So if you're quitting too soon, then yes, it didn't work for you.
The other thing that just spurred me on, that we see some with some personal training clients is, oh, I still have this belly, this isn't working, or I've still got this flab, in my underarm or whatever, so this isn't working, and then it's like at the same time, or in the next breath, they'll be like, oh yeah, the dog food was way easier to carry.
Right.
Or, I was able to get down and play with my grandkids last weekend and I haven't done that in years. Or I went and rode my horse and I haven't.
Yeah. I ran up the stairs and ran back down.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a decade.
Yeah. That's working.
Yeah.
That means it's working.
Yeah.
Your life is getting better.
Yeah.
That is working, not some arbitrary number on a scale or number that you want to, be able to pick up off the ground, deadlifting,
right,
or whatever. Those are metrics that can be used in certain times, in certain ways, but the real metric is your life improving?
Yep.
And if it is improving, it is working.
Yeah. So don't get caught up in the lies. I mean, these are just 8 of them, and there's probably 800. But these are the ones that really people, latch on. It's New Year time, and they latch on to these, and then it's a recipe for quitting or feeling like a failure, and it's just garbage.
Yeah.
Honestly. So toss them all out, guys.
I'm going to recap them real quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, go for it.
Yeah. So real quick, the 8 lies the fitness industry tells you. You have to suffer to get results. You can fix everything in 30 days. You can spot reduce fat. There's one perfect diet for everyone. Just eat fewer calories than you burn. More is always better. Weight loss equals health. And if it didn't work, you didn't try hard enough. So if you're hearing those things, this is maybe a good call to maybe change your algorithm. If you're getting fed that kind of stuff on social media, it's not valuable. And it's a pretty
someone in their 20s and you're in your 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Some of this stuff may work for them. I mean, they haven't lived long enough to learn.
Yeah.
I guess. Not that I'm trying to, talk smack about young influencers, but I just hear it a lot from the younger generation. And when hormones come into play, I mean, as we were doing this research and looking through it, it's like hormones, So that's a thing. That is a thing. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, if you like this podcast, share, comment. What's the other thing? Subscribe. Share it with a friend.
Yeah.
And go on all of our social medias, right? We're on Facebook, TikTok, which I don't know. I love TikTok. All of a sudden, I'm loving TikTok, which is funny because I've just been talking smack about it for so long. And Instagram at CJ Elevated Life _
Yep.
on Instagram.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I got to do this.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So follow along, and thank you so much for listening. But there's more.
You can go to cjelevatedlife.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Yeah, it's free, guys.
It is free and packed with good info.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to Elevated Life. If this episode resonated with you, we'd be incredibly grateful if you'd rate, review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your reviews help us reach more people who are ready to break free from the comfortable hell and step into real transformation. To rate and review on Apple Podcasts, open the app, search for Elevated Life, scroll down and tap Rate and Review. To rate and review on Spotify, tap the show page, scroll down and select your star rating, then tap Write a Review to leave your thoughts. You can also connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook as Elevated Life and on Instagram and TikTok at CJElevatedLife _. We'd love to hear from you. We'll catch you next time. Keep elevating.